an episode of CamaKO Conversations, and today I am blessed with the privilege of hosting Joel CamaKO Camilleri to the podcast today. Welcome, Joel.
Thank you.
So the way I usually start things, Joel, with my sales team each day is I ask them what they had for dinner and beverage. So I'll start with you.
I had a steak last night and some coconut rice. No veggies, but yeah.
Was it good?
It was pretty good, man. It could have been better with, maybe a milkshake at the end, but I avoided that because of obvious reasons of toilet and lactose-free and stuff.
Very good. So for those of you that aren't aware of Joel, we share the same surname, but that's about it. There is no there's no relation there at all. There probably is somewhere down the track, but the story with Joel and I is came through by circumstance actually, of Joel turning up to a fight night, sitting at a table, and a few of my mates were there and said, "Oh, do you know Luke Camilleri?" and blah blah blah, and yeah, there was a lot of people that were mentioning the same things, and so sure enough, we decided to connect, and the rest is history, really. So,
right.
Joel's boxing career is something that I feel very much part of, and the friendship that's grown from it has turned into a really tight bond. And I think what Joel possesses is, or what you possess, Joel, is with your beliefs and your dreams and your vision, aligns very much with me. So, if you might want to just let everyone know about your journey so far, of where you started, and where you've come to, and where your vision is, and your affiliation with Grand Prix Master.
Yeah, so I started in obviously Melbourne. I grew up in Melbourne, playing team sports and whatever else, and one thing led to another. I decided I wanted to go to an independent sport. I like to be the standout. I went to Muay Thai. From there, I went to a boxing gym, got beaten up, and I'm like one of those competitive people where when I get beaten at something, I want to learn. And so I started boxing at 16. Turned pro at 21 after 16 amateur fights. And my dream and my goal at the start was just literally to walk out to a song, have a crowd cheering my name, and I seen Mike Tyson, one of his fights. I forgot who he fought, but he walked out. He looked so scary, and so my only goal when I first started was just walking out to a song. And once I did that, I just kept setting goals, and yeah, here we are today.
So the career started when you were a lot younger. You're what in a part of your career now where you're fighting quite regularly. Where's the vision? Like, where to from here? What are we trying? Is it a title? Are we wanting to travel overseas? Where to?
Well, I set one goal at a time, but at the same time, I've got my vision of one day being a world champion. That's every boxer's dream, to be a world champion. Yeah, and but you got to be real. Right now, I'm in the top 60 in the world, number one in Asia, and only 30 something in WBC. So my goal is to get a regional rating, top 15 in the world, win a couple of regional belts, a couple more, and then work my way to a title eliminator, and that a win there will bring me to a world title shot. So with time frame of when I'm going to get there, my next 3 fights are obviously very important. I think another 3 wins will bring me to a real great spot, and then after winning the next 3 fights, I'll be another 12 months away from a world title shot.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So I guess our meeting was a little bit of a fortunate one. You moved from Melbourne. The move from Melbourne to Brisbane, why was that?
That was just to progress my career. So I've told this story a few times before, but me and my coach of 6.5 years, after I lost my fight, he just told me, I don't think you can get any further. You've lost a fight, haven't done too well. I think save the brain damage and pretty much let's go to and just go be a school teacher. So I was a school teacher by trade at secondary schools for 5.5 years, working casually, obviously, because boxing's kind of needs to be full time, but obviously doesn't pay enough to become full time.
Yep.
So yeah, my trainer turned to me and said, "Man, I'd rather you just maybe have one more fight and retire." And in my vision, I went home, I sat down after losing to Tim Zequin, the best guy in Australia, number 4 in the world, and being told that you got to retire after losing to him. I thought, he's a good fighter, better than many thought, but I knew when I went in with him that he was better than people thought. So I sat down, thought to myself, where can I get to from here? Can I get any better? can I achieve more? And the answer was yes. So I go, where can I go? I want the best team in Australia.
Yep.
Jeff Horn, at the time, Joseph Goodall, Dennis Hogan, Cameron Hammond, all these fighters there, Andrew Hunt. So yeah, I gave just one phone call, one trip to Brisbane, confirmed that I was going to move over to Brisbane, went home, told my parents, and I think it was 4 weeks after my fight with Tim Zequin, I'd moved to Brisbane. And you got to understand that for 2 or 3 weeks after that fight, I was travelling. So I've literally gone home, come back to Brisbane, gone home and moved my stuff in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I've moved to obviously just progress my career.
And the move, has it been a positive thing?
It has. I've had my ups and downs, like moving. Obviously, I wanted to work teaching, but I thought I have to go full time. So getting sponsors like yourself and others has been very positive because I've been able to actually go full time. Before the Tim Zequin fight, I went full time for 2 months, and I trained, but I didn't really treat it like a full time job like I should have.
Yep.
For certain reasons, but since I moved up, got great sponsors. I've met some great people, and I've won 3 fights in a row, so you can't complain with that, yeah.
The record's good.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the Tim Zequin fight. So that's probably the biggest of your career so far.
Yeah.
Foxtel main event. It caught my eye because I saw Camilleri all over Foxtel.
Yeah.
Tried to claim it, didn't work. So you've gone the full distance with Tim Zequin. You fought extremely well. During that, leading up to that fight with him, what was the mindset, and what was the mindset of what happens post this fight? Is it going to accelerate you further in your career? Was this an opportunity for you to really showcase your ability? And leading up to that fight, I guess, what was the thought for you? Were you nervous? Were you confident? Where were you at?
I was confident, but the thing was there was a question mark, and the big question mark was, Tim Zequin comes from a great pedigree with his father, grew up at 2 years old throwing punches, even 1 year old. So there was all these expectations on him, but also people were saying, what's he done so far? Joel's Australian champ, Joel's done this. So there was also expectation on me to win. I think me getting a bit upset at all Foxtel was about him. I had a bit of arguments with Foxtel main event, and they're just saying, man, I'm the champ, why are you putting his name first? Even on fight night, I walked out first with the champ, meant to walk out second. And then all the media just having to do this, having to do that, and constantly replying to people, and that was real draining, man. That was a real wake-up call and a kind of learning experience where I feel as though by the time I got to Sydney, I was done. Yeah. I got to the Star Casino, I've got to my room, we're going out, everyone's interviewing me, and I'm replying to people. And one thing I did notice was how many people jumped on board to support me for just that fight. They just, my best mate's fighting, all businesses and bars come down and support Joel Camilleri, blah blah. Trying to show support that they never showed me when I was fighting the local bloody pub. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot from that, but it's one of those experiences that have pushed me to where I am today.
So the fight with Tim, the relationship prior to that with him, I know that you've got a pretty good bond with the guy now, but before the fight, was it the same bond or?
No, I went to Vegas and met a guy, Khalil, and he's one of Tim's best mates. He runs the Zoo Boxing Academy with Tim. And he used to say to me, I got Tim Zequin and I want to fight him one day. So a year later, he knew about me, obviously, and I knew about him, but we didn't really speak. He used to just see my social media, bullshit pretty much, whatever you say. And then I remember going to these interviews with him and sitting down like I am right now and doing talks, and we'd stand in the elevator together and just, hey, go, mate, yeah, cool, yeah, sweet, yeah. And they're all good. And he's very just to himself, real, that's how he is, real introvert. And then we get to the microphones and I'd be like, who's Tim Zequin? What's he done? What, his father's name? I start saying things like that. And then I remember my mate calling me up, young man, Tim saying, man, Joel's such a nice bloke in the elevator, but then he gets on the microphone. Just selling a fight. One thing I got to mention from that is people don't realise that we are told to make something of it. We are told to sell things for the cameras. And I was told to say a few things which I wouldn't say out of respect. I'm not that kind of person. But you've got to put it on. You've got to sell a fight. It's not just about being good. Tim Zoo's good, and he's got the father's name, and he's proven himself. So people are going to follow him. But for myself, this Joel Camilleri kid from Killaloe, the west of Melbourne, I don't care about him.
Yeah.
So I've got to sell it somehow,
Yeah, you do. So 3 fights in a row. You've won now.
Yeah.
Where to next?
We're looking at fighting on a no-limit card to be announced very soon. So most likely November. It's looking like Queensland because everywhere else is pretty much shut down, and apart from Perth. But it's looking I'll be fighting Wes Kappa, who's got a record of 22 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw. Number 4 at middleweight, 62 in the world. So that's the next fight in November, and we'll maybe 8-round fight. I'm hoping for a title fight, but we'll see how we go. And just fight Wes Kappa, get that win, and go from there.
So you're on a journey. The last fight at Mansfield Tavern, fighting there, you had a great turnout, and I was lucky enough to be there, almost ringside for that fight, and as proud as punch. And obviously I've joined the Joel Camilleri journey, and the friendship's far past that. But probably the big thing for me out of that fight was we're leading up to it, and Tim Zoo, actually they interviewed him prior to you walking out, and he just spoke so highly of you, and I think at that point there, that the hair started to stand up in the back of my neck of pride and thinking, how good's this? But it actually got better for me. I looked around the room, and there was these black CamaKO t-shirts as far as the eye could see, and you came out, and I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it. And everyone stood up, and I remember just clapping, and the noise when you came out there, it was such a proud moment for us as supporters and me as an ambassador. But I know during that fight you copped a bit of a shot to the eye, and you lost a bit of vision. So from a mental point of view, you've come out from that fight, or you've come into that fight. You've just got these big words from Tim. I don't know if you heard them.
Yeah, I heard the last few. Yeah.
And then you've come out to the Raw. So the emotion must have been high. How was you feeling when you first came into the ring after that? And then you copped that punch in the eye in the 3rd or the 4th. I think it was pretty early. What was going through your head at that point? And just talk me through that mental period of when you first walked in the ring on a high, and then when you lost that bit of vision.
The mentality at the start was, look, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to stop him, which I don't like to predict usually. And I was saying it the whole lead up to the fight, I'm going to stop him. And he'd been stopped one of his fights prior, doing very well in a fight, but then he got stopped. And I thought, okay, he's going to open up. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to finish him. I've heard Tim Zoo say, Joel's told me he's going to stop him by the 6th round, so that's what he's going to do. And I'm like, I better do it, So added pressure to myself. Got hit with that shot to the eye, so I didn't know at the time, but I had a cataract over my eye, which obviously developed from punches and whatever else, And I remember thinking, hopefully the light isn't too bright, because I could see like a shadow already. And then when I've gone in the ring, it's a bit of a shadow already. I'm fighting. He's hit me with a left uppercut to the eye, and all I remember is seeing is just a blur. It you'd literally put something over my eye, a piece of plastic, and I couldn't see. And at that time, I might have been winning the fight maybe 3 rounds to 1 or something like that. And I got 5 more rounds to fight with one eye. It came back, blurred, but I had 2 eyes. Luckily, so I could fight, but. No one understands the mental, the mindset and what goes through your mind during a fight. I've gone out confident, got hit with that shot, 5 rounds to go. I might lose this fight. One side saying, mate, just give up, lay down. Then the other side saying, no, mate, you're going to win this fight. You have to win this fight. So you're fighting with yourself. Go back to the corner. I remember my corner saying to me, mate, you're boxing him well. You're doing very well. You're winning the rounds. And in my head, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing well. I'm not winning from the outside. And I remember turning to one of my trainers and saying, I'm going to walk him down and break him. And I didn't care what they said. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah, right.
And that's after the 6th round. That's all I did. Just walk into him. He was awkward. I wasn't feeling sharp. I was feeling lethargic.
Yep.
So I just walked him down and just stayed in close and just worked.
Well, you got the win. That's all that mattered. On to the next fight. And looking forward to that. Now, from a personal point of view, you know, we aligned, and you became a brand ambassador. You know, and that was more so because I wanted to follow your journey, and I thought that your vision and your mental strength, I guess, and your drive from when I first met you was exactly where I wanted to be. It aligned with the business and especially me from a personal level. From that point, we obviously developed a really good friendship, and you know, I was lucky enough for you to come and join and do some training with me in my bunker at my house, and I don't ever, you know, take that for granted. I look at it as I'm really blessed to be able to have that. But what I've really enjoyed with that is, I suppose, getting inside your head a little bit more and watching your body language. And you know, people see you from the outside and they see what you do, but being able to watch how you prepare, how you react, your breathing pattern, it's something else, you know, and until people can see that side of the person you are. But it's more the other side I see from your personal level is, do you want to give so much? You want to help, you want to give your time, and it's a camaraderie. Yeah. And I think that really shows in you as a person, and it shows in your boxing. And I guess that leads me to my next point now, is to your social media. I know you love to have a joke and a bit of a laugh, but that's who you are, you know, and I think that everything in me knowing you personally, it's such a genuine big heart, and you want the best for people, but you've got that winning mentality, and which I get to experience. But to your socials, talk me through that. What part of that? I know you said before about you've got to sell your fights and sell the image. But there's also, we get to see a lot of Joel on there, which is, what's the mix? What do we look for?
Everyone sees a boxer as this tough, scary dude who's had a hard upbringing. He's served time, he's done whatever, his parents don't love him. You know, like, that's what they kind of see. And I'm not about that. Even when I do talks around schools and whatever else and sporting clubs, I say I was brought up by two great parents. Yeah. But one thing about that, what you're saying about, like, you know, how my social media, about me being me and people seeing me, I don't just advertise my boxing. I advertise myself feeding a dog, like, you know, having a laugh and bagging someone, having a bit of banter. And the thing about that is, my dad's always been kind of hard on me in that way, as in, like, and my mum as well, like, oh, you can't say that. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, that's wrong. But my thing is, no matter what I post on social media, somebody's going to get offended. No matter what it is. So when I met you, like, when you first meet someone, you're sitting there and you're real serious. Yeah, I'm going to do this for you. And what you said to me was that, mate, I love you being yourself. Be yourself and do what you got to do. And, you know, I'm happy for you. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah. I
post some things that can offend a lot of people, man, but I won't just, you know, tease that person or bag that person. I'll point every single person out, including myself. So then I started seeing your videos, the Grumpy Mazda Aspley videos, and the kind of the cringe kind of social media stuff. And I'm like, this is like, you know, this is down my alley. So that's where I'll develop the kind of connection with you guys. But yeah, my social media is all about being myself, and I'm going to attract people who accept me for who I am, not what I'm trying to put out there. So that's massive for me. Everyone who follows me is they're genuine people who want to see me succeed, and they know who I am and what I'm going to bring.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So you move from Melbourne, you come to Brisbane, we catch up, you end up getting a CX-5 to drive, and you know, you're in the CX-5, recently moved into a CX-30. Take the car aside, we'll talk about the car in a second, but what you were obviously select about who you want in your life and you're on your journey.
Yeah.
Why Grand Prix Mazda? Why were you comfortable with the affiliation, and why were you comfortable partnering up? Yeah. And how have you found it now that you have partnered with us?
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm very actually selective on, like, my sponsors. A lot of people who, like, just starting off, they just take any like, you know, company, no matter what it is. But I've got to brand myself with the right companies. Why Grand Prix Mazda Aspley? Obviously, you know, same surname. We caught up. We had a laugh. I got to meet the person that you are, and I got to see that too. And yeah, I just feel like I felt the connection between you guys and the company. And I remember when I first met you, I think after the first week, and I started watching those ads. And I messaged you, man, can I be in those ads, please? Like, I love the camera, yeah. So yeah, I messaged you, and you go, yeah, man, be involved. And that's what I like most about my sponsors is, it's not just, hey guys, come down to Grand Prix Mazda Aspley and buy a car. hey guys, I'll be the best cars in the world. It's not about that. It's about, I want my sponsors to say, hey man, come down, do some filming. Hey man, come meet this person. And that's what you were doing. And you also allowed me to do. So that's why I find the partnership great.
It definitely works, and probably from our dealership or from Grand Prix Master, we're not necessarily about the cars, it's about the people.
Yeah.
And it's about the culture we deliver, and you love the culture, you've bought into the culture, but it aligns definitely with your brand also, and I think it's been a natural fit. Now you've had the CX-5 now and the CX-30. How have you enjoyed driving the Masters?
Yeah, good. I hadn't actually driven a Mazda before I came to Brisbane.
Yeah.
You know, the CX-5 was great. I thought it was like the perfect size because I'm not one of those manly men who drive like big BT50s and that. So I'm like, hopefully he doesn't give me a BT50. I wouldn't know what to do with it, you know what I mean? So, CX-5 was perfect because I had all my boxing bag in the back. It was spacious. I could bring my friends to training, and it was just, its car. It drives well, and it had reverse sensors. I just wish it had front sensors too.
We'll save that story.
Yeah.
We'll save that one.
And yeah, so then to the CX-30, man, I love it. It's even a bit smaller, easier to park, which we can talk about later too. Got every single sensor in the book, and
it's a good car.
You know, it's great. And one thing that's important with me is I lose focus very easy. And you know how it shows like the speed you're going?
Yeah.
I'll be driving 5 k's over. You know what I mean? Nah, but I love the cars, man.
Nah, very good. Well, you've been a great ambassador for Grand Prix Master. You're definitely aligned with the culture that we deliver, and it's been a great partnership. It's been great on the journey so far, and we look forward to the next journey with you with the upcoming fight. But I love that we get to do it weekly and daily, and I feel that we've really aligned both brands. So thanks for joining us on Carman Conversations today. You're an outstanding career so far, and it matches the person you are, Joel. So thanks very much. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you, mate. Can't wait to punch you in the rib again.